Hello, everybody. I'm Jesse Waters, along with Kayleigh McEnany, Harold Ford Jr., Dana Perino, and Greg Gutfeld. It's 5 o'clock in New York City, and this is The Five. At any moment now, Secretary of War Pete Hegseth and the head of Central Command will give an update on Operation Epic Fury. President Trump was just speaking about the mission at the White House. Take a listen.
They're calling, they're saying, how do we make a deal? I said, you're being a little bit late, and we want to fight now more than they do.
47's also thinking about his next steps and wanting a say in who leads the regime. He told Axios this, quote, "They're wasting their time. Khomeini's son's a lightweight. I have to be involved in the appointment, like with Delcy Rodriguez in Venezuela. Khomeini's son is unacceptable to me. We want someone that will bring peace and harmony to Iran." Meanwhile, the liberal media is stuck on TDS autopilot. They can't stop attacking the Trump administration over Epic Fury.
I remember watching Pete Hegseth going, how childish is this?
He's a
is this
child.
language he's using?
Yeah.
And this sort of bro-centric, tough guy, we sunk their battleship. It was pathetic, but also embarrassing.
The Ayatollah's son, this guy is said to be even more of a hardliner than his dad. I hate to say Ayatollah so.
The Trump administration's propaganda machine is in full, sway right now.
No one who Barron Trump has ever been in a classroom with is likely to have joined the military.
All right, Greg. So the media, it's less than a week into the beginning of the operation, and it seems like they've already turned on the war effort.
All of these guys love to portray themselves as Hitler killers. You know, everybody that they disagree with is a Hitler, and if they had the chance to go back in time and kill baby Hitler, they would. Then they have the opportunity to take out an actual Hitler, somebody that kills thousands and thousands of people who try to murder Jews all the time, and they're like, whoa, I only meant this in fantasy land. I'm only a tough guy about Hitler if it doesn't exist. But if it's actually in the world in reality, I back off. I don't think it's wise to view the OEF in a traditional way because Trump isn't traditional. It's like expecting Disneyland to remain the same after the Hells Angels buy it. We're in a fog of war, but we're also in a fog of Trump because he doesn't do what old leaders do. He weighs each decision like he would if he were working in a company, not as a politician. He doesn't look at the polls. People on the right are, kind of upset or they're worried about Trump, and I get it. But you have to ask yourself, and you have to remember, you can't hire a guy who lives to solve problems and then tell him he can't. This isn't a war thing for Trump. This is a problem thing. Iran is just a problem, like the border, government fraud, trans, and Cuba. You saw what he said to the soccer guys. In a couple of weeks, everything will be fine. That's how we look. These are all problems. You put him on his plate, and you say you can't touch it. Oh, he's going to touch it. What did Obama say to Trump in their last meeting? He said, North Korea, watch out for them, biggest threat. What was the first thing that Trump did? He removed that from our area of concerns through a psychological action that didn't require war. He basically said, we're not coming after you, you leave us alone, whatever. So there's this opinion that is actually a non-opinion. Yes, you're watching like AOC do this. Yes, Iran's a murderous regime, but we can't have a forever war. Those aren't the only choices. That's like saying, my car's dirty, but I don't want a forever car wash. It's actually done to keep you from actually having the balls to make a decision and go forward in life. And so now you have this thing where politicians would always kick the can down the road to the next guy. The next guy was Trump, and he doesn't kick cans. He steps on them.
Mm-hmm. And very focused, Dana, on the next step, who the next leader of Iran will be. And he wants to say, I think it's going to be a pretty powerful say.
Well, on Saturday, after they had taken that shot that took out Khomeini and the 49 others, he did one of the interviews that he did when he got on the phone with the reporters. He said, yeah, I thought there were some options within that group of 49, but now that 49 is no more. And no doubt, why would you go to all of this trouble and then just say, okay, cool, Khomeini's son's next, great, right. Okay, moving on. It's not like passing on like a Ford dealership. We were talking about cars before. It's not that kind of a thing. So I can understand his wanting to be a part of it. Nothing is. Everybody wants to just make a direct comparison of things. Well, Delcy Rodriguez in Venezuela, the CIA was working with her or her brother for a long time to make sure that that was going to be okay. So that was all planned out and orchestrated. And I hope I live long enough to read the history of it because it's pretty incredible intelligence work. Here, I think it's just a little bit different and is a lot more complicated. And Iran is saying they're not going to go down without a fight, and that's why they're fighting their neighbors. And what they said today to Trump is that, well, maybe we do want to talk. And he's like, it's a little late for that. But what Iran always tries to do is delay. They want to delay. They want to see if they can draw out our pain, and that if the political pain here gets too hot, for example, gas prices go up quite a bit, and they will believe that America will do what it has done in the past, which is just cut and run when it gets politically difficult. So I don't think that President Trump or the Israelis are going to do that in this case, and I think that the Gulf states want to deal with this issue once and for all, but it's going to be a little while before everything feels more settled.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.